You're listening to the Road to Wisdom podcast, weaving stories told by wonderful minds about all things motherhood, health, intimacy, politics, nature, and everything in between.
Join us on an adventure discovering unique experiences that we can learn from to enhance the ways in which we live.
We are your hosts, Chloe
and Keshia. Welcome everyone to the Road to Wisdom podcast. Today we have something a little different for everyone. We've had quite a few gnarlier, contentious topics of late. So we're bringing Lisa Jane Spencer onto the podcast to lighten it up a little bit. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you. I mean, I can't guarantee I will fully lighten it up, but you know, we'll see.
We'll give it a red hot crack.
Yeah.
If all else fails, we'll just like insert some Instagram reels here from your page and just, go with that.
I did listen to, I think what some could call a podcast that was actually showing your parodies recently.
Yeah. I think I know the one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's just I think it's a little one. I don't know. Do we want to go there straight off the bat?
I mean, we can talk about it.
Well, I know that you've come under fire for a couple of your parodies, because your subject matter is interesting and it does give everyone a laugh. And I guess when you are someone who is a public figure and is in entertainment and has a very large audience, you're opening yourself up to potential comedians coming out and making a good old laugh about some of the shit that comes out of your mouth. So, but some people don't have that great a sense of humor and can't have a laugh. And I think one of the most entertaining parts of that discussion, for those who aren't following along, we'll give details, but like one of the most entertaining parts for me was that she really doubled down on the points that you were taking the piss out of, and that was hilarious.
Can you talk about what post it is?
Okay, so wait, what's her name again, Lisa?
Abby Chatfield.
Do you know her, Chloe?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know her. This is how out of touch I am. But
I didn't know it either until so many people started sending me her stuff to do parodies, and I just listened. Okay,
She's like that. There's a couple of those people in Australia who are really well known for their, like, I guess, their
outrageous
opposite
opinions?
views. And they're very outrageous. There's a couple of them. Who's the other woman who's really loud in Australia?
Clementine Ford.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've heard of. I have heard of that name. Where have I heard that?
She's been around for a lot longer, I would say. Like
Okay.
she's like written books and.
Is she
But
very?
she's really
feminist.
yes,
yeah. Feminist. Yeah.
Love a good feminist. Yeah, so I guess the parodies were of Abby Chatfield and some of the how do we say this? She's, I guess, like the way that I saw it, especially not knowing her and not really having any like prior knowledge to the parodies that I saw, I kind of like put her in the basket of a Alex Cooper-esque figure, because she's a beautiful girl with outlandish opinions, or maybe not outlandish, just like she's catering to the norm, and she had the Prime Minister of Australia on her podcast, which it felt very the Australian version of Kamala Harris on Alex Cooper's podcast, like, and it was like a podcast about how to give like the best blowjob, I think, and then Kamala Harris.
Sorry, what?
Like, yeah, like because Alex Cooper is what is it? Daddy something. Call me daddy. Call her daddy.
Call me daddy. Yeah.
Call me daddy.
Yeah.
Like ridiculously popular podcast, and it's all about like I guess early on was like all of her sexual exploitations and like how like the people she slept with, and I don't know. Haven't really listened. I've listened to a couple of episodes, but not like in depth. It wasn't really my cup of tea. But yeah, it was quite funny to see that. And then all of a sudden we've got Albanese on Abby Chatfield's podcast. So I just kind of like made
I just thought it was funny as well. Like that parody I did was like, I'm just thinking this is funny. Like if you go on a podcast, like Abby's podcast thing, and you see the topics below the Albanese one, you're just like, what? How did we get here? How did we get to the Prime Minister from like trans queer rights and like all this stuff?
Well, if you ask her, sex is political. That's how.
Yes, exactly. So and that's how she got there. So I like, to be honest, I wasn't hating that that he was on there. I wasn't being like, oh, she doesn't deserve that. I was just like, no, this is funny. Like, it's just funny.
And it is. It's really, it's amusing, and we should be allowed. I don't know. I feel like it's so important to take the piss out of stuff like that because it's hilarious. Like that is, and I think if you can't see the humor in it, you know, you've got some work to do on yourself. So
I totally agree. I think when you can laugh at something within yourself or, you know, within others, it makes life so much better. So much better. And obviously, like, I mean, for me, I can go to the laughter pretty quickly, and I might be covering up the depth of maybe the shame or the fear or whatever, and maybe it can be a coping mechanism, but it brings light to it. It brings light to all these aspects that we have within ourselves, because we are literally, we have every aspect, and whether we like to admit that or not, we do. We're more similar than we are different. And yeah, I just think if I can laugh about it within me, then you know, another person can laugh at it within them, and then we're like, oh shit, you know, we're not that different.
Well, I think one of the best starting points, I guess, for us is that the comedy that you started off with was, I think, were you living up this way in Byron?
Yeah.
You were taking the piss out of all of us, and it was hilarious. like I'm like watching, I think it was like how to get a rental or like how to fit in Byron, and and it's like talking about wearing your Nagnata shorts and like having an addiction to the starter kit, and I was sitting there eating a Loco Love in Nagnata shorts with my blunnies on, like watching it, fucking pissing my pants, going, oh my God, this is the best thing I think I've ever seen in my life. And then I went out and I'm like, and everyone else is in their nag, like, what are we doing here? But it's like you, like the comedic relief is so good. It's so good to like break up the day.
It's a bit of an icebreaker though, isn't it though? Sometimes like, you know, when there's like an ideology or like a banner of like, you should be thinking this or you should be doing this. And you kind of like forget about like, there's a you should follow or you should just do your own thing. And sometimes you just get stuck in like oh yeah, everyone's doing that. So like you just naturally fall into line. Whereas like when someone does like a skit or something and you're like, it's funny, it's becomes like a hell of a lot more relatable instantly. And you kind of like pulled out of that follower mentality to like, actually, I don't give a shit. Like I'm here and this funny person agrees with me. So that has way more weight than any political like Albanese person. Which is cool. And like laughing's great.
It is. Laughing's the best. I mean, life is not always easy, and it's, you know, there's some dark shit out there, which I think you guys have been working through, like the shadows and all the shit. And life's not meant to be that. It's also meant to be funny and light, and we can laugh at the dark stuff as well.
I think that's the best stuff to laugh at, like having.
I agree. I love that shit.
Oh, it's so good. Like I was talking. I mean, I don't know if you've listened.
I mean, literally, Keshia has cried over some pretty heinous things. I mean, laughed when she should have been crying.
Well, I think the first thing that happened was like when we had Ginty in here and she was sharing her story about her birth with Tashi and how her dad had passed, and at the end of it we were just like we were both crying at this stage, and I had like bawled my eyes out. Like Chloe's trying to console us both in the middle of this recording, and then like, at the end we're just like pissing ourselves at like and joking about having our dead dads, and like you know and it is such a relief to be able to go to that. Obviously it's something sad that neither of us would ever wish upon anyone, but at the same time we can have a fucking laugh about it, and it breaks that up a little bit and makes it more digestible, because we can't stop any of the bad shit from happening. And like I think that's something that we noticed in COVID. There was so much going on that was like quickly shutting down and like the world and changing the way anyone could live. And like one of the best things to come out of COVID were the fucking memes. Like that was like, oh my God, like thank God for the internet and for people like you who could create content that was like, let's have a laugh.
Hilarious and relatable.
So no, appreciate what you're doing, Lisa.
Thank you.
It is fantastic, and I think so necessary. And I think your subject matter has got to be the most on point for us here.
It ticks a lot of boxes, right? It's like we'll somehow laugh at abortions, toxic femininity or feminism, and then like all the things, right? Like housing crisis, everything. The over spiritual people of Byron Bay.
We took spirituality too far.
Yeah.
Where like everyone's trying to be out of their ego and just went more in. Like we're just
really feminized men. What haven't you talked about?
Honestly, I don't know. Like I had a few discussions with like managers and agents, and they're like, oh, you know, just double down on the ones that, you know, get the best engagement. I'm like, oh, that seems like a smart idea, but I kind of want to talk about a lot of things. Like I kind of want to do varied stuff, because that's, I don't know, that's life for me. I don't want to just focus on one thing or a couple of things, because that, I feel like, I don't know, it's just not the whole picture for me. And I like making fun of everything. I think I've talked about this before. I like making fun of everything, because then it's like, well, I'm not just targeting one thing. Everything can be laughed at.
I think that one of the best things about comedy too, and your parodies, is that it actually brings into light to question certain narratives that are getting pushed, or like certain like ideologies, and not even like, I'm not even talking like the big ideologies, but just like this thing of like, for instance, you did an OnlyFans parody and we just like steer everyone into your Instagram where this is all posted. I don't know, it could be on TikTok as well.
It is on TikTok as well.
There you go. Don't have TikTok.
I like Instagram better, to be honest. But
yeah, no, it's a prettier platform, I feel. But yeah, it's you did this parody of like an OnlyFans parody, and I actually sent it to Chloe straight away, because like the day before that came across my page, we were talking about was it Bonnie Blue and Lily Phillips, and we were about to go into another recording while we were like Chloe sending like 8-minute voice messages to me on her drive-in to go into this recording, talking about OnlyFans and like Bonnie Blue and like what this is all doing. And I mean, I don't follow it that much. What I know of OnlyFans comes from Louise Perry podcast. This is where I get my information. But no, it was actually giving more information. Basically, like your parody was so good because it did provide information.
Research.
Like I
did a lot of research on that.
Yeah.
I legit went into like hardcore research mode, and I tend to do that with most of my parodies. Like I research real hardcore because I don't want to be like, I don't want to just, skim the surface. I want the depth.
Which is why.
That's why it's so good.
Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
okay, so take us through, like if you're going to do a parody on that, because I know Chloe's dying to talk about Bonnie Blue as well. But if you're doing the research on something like this, what is the process? So like, does it just like come across your?
Yeah, it was starting to come across my, I think Instagram. Like I can't even remember her name, but she's not an Australian. So this first girl that I saw, and she was doing this like comedy skit. I was like, shit, this girl's hilarious. Went on a page and I'm like, oh, she's got her titties out a bit. Like, what's going on? And then I was like, hang on, is this one? Because I'd heard something of like OnlyFans people on social media, but I'd never seen it. And then, I went on her links and it's like OnlyFans. I was like, oh my God. And so I went down a little bit of a hole on that and looked at her stuff. And then I saw another girl who was doing some like pottery or something. And I was like, oh, this girl's cool. Like, what's she doing with this like pottery? Like, I'm like, great, good for her. Went on a page, another OnlyFans girl. And I felt like I was being like, what's the word? Duped? Is that the word?
Yeah.
I felt
Hang
like I
on,
was
talk me
being.
through the pottery. What was her content? Like, was
Chloe's
she
like, can
making?
I make some
No
money off
shit.
my
I was
pottery?
just like, I just sent a request on Facebook Marketplace for a secondhand wheel, and I just instantly had a vision of like
OnlyFans.
how you make that OnlyFans content. Like, I imagine just being like sitting there, like naked, and just like using my like
Feet.
this would work. This would work better if you had firm boobs, like breast implants, but you could like actually like get in there and try to like put the like, you know how you have to like go up and down like this if you're not watching. It's like giving a wristy. And then so
it wasn't as
Brenton's a lucky man.
This is the thing. This is the thing with social media now. Like you can, like if you've got something kind of unique or something that you like doing, you share it to the world on social media. But now you're getting these OnlyFans people that they're regular people. Okay, that's the premise. Is they're regular people. They have talents. They have gifts. They have interests, just like everyone else. But they use their interests and their other gifts to draw people in to their OnlyFans, to their social media, to then get people onto their OnlyFans, because that's how
but is
people
the
are finding
OnlyFans content just like an R-rated version of their regular person skills?
No, it's not. This is where I had to dig a little deeper into the research, and I was just like, what do they do on OnlyFans? Like, what is it? And
did you subscribe and pay money to see anyone's content?
I
didn't. No, I didn't.
I've landed.
I have a secret.
How's your algorithm now? Is it fucked?
Not really. It's not that fucked. Because I mean, some of that was appropriate. I still find that OnlyFans girl quite funny. Like she's still funny. I'm not going to subscribe to her because I don't. That's not my vibe. But yeah, what I was going to say was, apparently, I researched. I went on Reddit and I was like, what do these people do on OnlyFans? And not a lot of people shared it, but then someone was like, oh, here's a leaked version of lots of OnlyFans videos. And so these women that get really popular on OnlyFans, people just take their videos and put it on websites or whatever. And so I don't know, it was some random site and it's basically just porn. All of it is porn. And none of it even relates to like, just say that pottery girl. I mean, I didn't see hers because she's a smaller creator, but I saw like Lily Phillips on there. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on? But yeah, it's basically their social media platforms is a way to bring people to their, lure them in. So people can be like, oh my God, who is this chick? She's great. She's, she's doing funny videos. Oh, she's funny. She's hilarious. She's also very attractive. And then
Wait, do you have OnlyFans? I'm hearing like that. I'm
No,
going
I
to go on
don't.
your
Funny.
Instagram
She's
right
great. She's
now,
funny.
and there's going to be a link, isn't there?
No. That's
Come follow me, everyone.
Not yet.
If I get an OnlyFans, I've hit rock bottom. All right, that's
Or rock, like the opposite. Like, the whole argument of like, why would I
well. I just
slave
prefer
them?
to not make money through that way. That's just not my vibe. But yeah, I prefer to make money through other ways. But each to their
Never
own.
say never. Never say never. I've thought about the whole foot thing. So.
Too much.
That's how it
We have an
starts, though.
That's the gateway. That's the gateway to
literally-
porn.
I was noticing that. Like, there's this woman called Shannon Blake. She's like a hippie kind of spiritual musician. That's what I found her. I found her as being a musician. I liked her music. She was getting a lot of hate for how she looked. And then I saw she has an OnlyFans. And it's like these little secret things. Like, they might not even promote it. But if you go on their links, you're like, right, it's right there. That's how they're making the money. It's real sneaky.
Ooh,
I wonder how
sneaky
much
or a smart business decision.
Yeah, I guess it's perspective, right? Like I think for me, like, I just have some shade with it because I want to know who someone is up front. I want to know what their vibe is. I don't want it hiding in the shadows. I want someone to be like, this is who I am. Yeah.
I wonder how much like people are forking out. Like, I wonder how many people on average, like, what's the like weekly spend on OnlyFans these days? Like, it must be heaps. If everyone has them and everyone seems to be making bank.
I think it's quite deceptive. I know that a lot of
Do you think people
talk.
are actually making that much money?
I think there's
apparently no.
Yeah, I think there's a small number of women who are making all the money, and then a large number of women who are being absolutely stripped of everything and
that's
their dignity.
That's it. That's where I was poking at. I was like, people, especially young people, are seeing these people on social media and being like, oh my God, they're making so much money. And, all these other things, they're getting attention, love, all these things. And then they might be like, okay, maybe I'll do it. Okay, I'll start with doing foot stuff, like just really easy stuff. Or, maybe I'll have my face hidden. And it starts like that. And then they find, because I went to the research, I found that these people would do that and then they wouldn't make enough money. And then they'd get requests from people being like, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? And then the requests would come in and they would be saying, if you do this, I'll pay you a lot of money. And so then that's how these women are going from like, oh, I'll just do something small to full blown, prostitution basically. So,
What's the
and
request?
So it's like a grooming situation.
Yeah.
What are what are like some of the requests? I'm curious.
I mean, I didn't go that deep into it, but it could be like, someone might do stuff without their face and then they'll be like, oh, can you show your face? Or can you play with your boobs? Or can you masturbate? Can you...
And then it just gets...
like
porn.
Can
you start off just watching regular standard porn and then it goes to like these ridiculous edges and then people just push it further and further and further because you start numbing out to just seeing someone's face. Like you need to, I see that happening.
Yeah.
Wow, this got dark real quick.
I told you I can guarantee the lightness.
I'm just gonna just cross out OnlyFans feet as like potential injury.
Look, if you have strong boundaries,
I don't.
If you have strong boundaries,
I don't. We're good. All right.
Yeah. So I do think like it is like if you can own it, if you can move through all the bullshit that people say about it, if you can fully know that this is a thing, a path for you, and you're not doing it just to whatever, and that there's a real reason, then I respect that. But if I don't know, if it's just like very shadowy, I don't know, it's hard.
Kind of like Bonnie Blue. There's no she's not denying it in any sense of the word, but I still don't really like her.
She seems to be really like, and
Still gives me the icks.
I haven't done a whole lot of
Well,
research, but she seems to be really owning it.
It's probably because she's
she
literally sleeping with thousands of men in a day. I mean,
yeah.
probably normal to give you the icks.
But then that I mean, yeah, when I said I respect it, I mean also then I'm thinking like how sad if they're doing it so much, and like the trauma that could, you know, have on someone, maybe the lack of healthy relationships, all the things. So you don't see that side though. You don't see the trauma. You don't see, you know, how their relationships are going. Do they want to be married? Do they want kids? You don't see that. You see all the glamour.
Yeah, and it does create, I mean, I guess a lot of the women that are getting sucked into this are quite young and naive, and like when you are young, you're not looking at the future. You're not looking at, oh, how is this forever content that it will never be taken offline going to age when I do have children and they're with their friends and looking at porn? Like where
there's mummy and daddy.
Where are those comes? Yeah, or just mummy with that's not daddy. Like it would get really.
But
really
also,
sticky.
like when you're young, you're young and you're young and dumb. And I think like no one actually has the perspective of that type of decision making, or like the consequences, or just how you're going to feel later, because you're just so immature that you can't really see past that point in time, and you just like. A lot of people just adopt that fuck it, I don't care. Like, I really don't care attitude. And there's not much you can, I mean, we've all been there in some respect.
But I think the one issue now is that it's once it's online, like that is forever. Like that's it, you know, you could back in my day, you could make a fuck up and it's not going to haunt you for the rest of your life, except for maybe internally. But like, not everyone is going to know about it. Like there would be stuff in my history that Togga will never know about, right? You know everything Togga about.
He can't find it.
It's not going to be findable. But like for our kids who are growing up online, like everything is there. So, and like for teenagers at the moment, or young girls in university or whatever it is, like everything, your whole history is online. Everyone's sharing everything and it's there forever. Like, you can take it off your Facebook, but like if it's something that's going viral, or if it's something explicit,
I actually spoke to a young person about this the other day who's on OnlyFans in real flesh. Yeah. They don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I brought that up. Don't care. It's just like, you can't, there's a part of something that you don't know until you get older and you reach a level of maturity or whatever. Like, I mean, look at Pammy. She's barefaced now. She would never have done that back in the day. You know, like you have to reach a certain level and a certain maturity to be able to think like that. And I just, it's like the naggy mum and dad, like, don't do this, don't do that. Like, you don't actually think that they know better until you get to that place where you're like, oh, yeah, okay, I've landed. So, yeah, I don't think you can say that to anybody.
I think something that just like I thought just then was back then, I guess, we didn't have the internet and our stuff wasn't all out there, but now it's all out there and you really can't hide. I mean, you can try and hide, but I think we all have things that we do that are bad or negative or shameful. Like, we all have these things and we want to hide them. We really do, but they're out there. And like, I mean, the OnlyFans things, I think it just brings up our own perhaps shame with prostitution or, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, but we don't know what it's like to walk in someone else's shoes. We don't know how they got there to that choice, and we don't know what's best for them. We don't know their path, what they're here to learn, you know. So yeah, I do shame OnlyFans people, but I'm like, I got to look at myself too, because I've also got my own shit.
I think it's really easy to see, like, if you really look hard enough, you can put a picture together pretty quickly of having an understand like a baseline level of understanding of how a woman gets there. I mean, like, I know a couple of people in real life, old friends who popped up on OnlyFans, and like I obviously know them quite well, and of course, like, absolutely, I can understand, what would have led to that behavior. Not even behavior, just choices. But yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's like there is a part where it's not like we are shaming someone, kind of just pointing at someone, being like, hey, there's gonna be some repercussions here, there's gonna be some harm. Do you want to go down that path? And I think like that's an okay thing to point at, even like if they don't want to see it, that's on them, and then you've got to be like, okay, well, I don't need to fix anyone as well. I don't need to fix them. They're going to go down that path if they want to. But I think it's like we should be able to speak up to someone and be like, hey, I can see something that maybe you don't see, that maybe it could cause you harm down the road. Do you want to go through that? Be like, oh, yes, I do, or no, I don't. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah. I think you can hold people to some level of accountability, like even in partnership. Like, it's not a bad thing if your partner's like, hey, like, this is what you're doing and I'm seeing this and I don't think this is really good, or like just, but, and I also, in a way, I kind of like welcome that. And I think in friendship, if your friend is being a total dick, you would be like, okay to be called out. But yeah, like in society, I mean, I guess if like we lived in villages, there's no way that you'd be able to behave a certain way without getting like a bit of a, speaking to. But now we have nothing. It's just like walls down, open. You can do, be, and act however you want.
Well, and I think that's because if you do point it out, if you do speak to someone, if I were to say, hey, Bonnie Blue, I feel like your behavior is really risky, and what you're doing is maybe setting a bad example for other young women. And this is, like, have you considered about, like, when you eventually might want to get married and have children, have you considered that this kind of information, like, about you is going to be on the internet forever? I could say it that way, and it will probably come back and hit me in the face and be like, you don't know, like, whatever it is. Yeah. Saying that is often seen as like an insult, or, you're not being sensitive enough, or I don't know, where like everything these days can be mistaken for an insult, or you're saying the wrong thing, even if it's coming from the heart, even if it's, coming from a genuine place of concern. But if you put it in a parody,
you know what's up.
Hey. Because you can say a lot of stuff as a joke, and we're just joking. Yeah. It's just a joke.
I think people are starting to work it out though, because they're like, now there's some people being like, yeah, but you're just using the word comedian, or you're just saying comedy, but it's like really dark. And I'm like, yeah, but that's what comedy is.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. It's shining a light on those things that, like, if you were
I don't
to
know if you
actually
can be
just
that
speak
defensive. It's so true. If you were like, hey, Bonnie, this isn't really like harmful to our daughters who will grow up and see you, like, I don't think it's a good thing for our society. You'd be like super defensive, right? You'd be like, fuck you, what do you know? Like, whatever it would be. But if like you did a stand-up comedy show about it, might land differently.
It does.
Most
It
likely
does.
land really differently.
But yeah, it does land very different when it's said with a joke, because it's light. It's
like less of an attack. It's less of an attack.
Yeah, but I mean, there are people that will still take it as an attack. Obviously, if they're too offended, if they're easily offended, then they will take it as an attack. But
I do
easily offended.
I do
types.
find that there are like on the political spectrum, those who are offended more easily tend to lie to one side.
yeah. I don't know how did they get there? I don't know.
Where everything is like a personal attack. I don't know.
This
But
is what I want to talk about on our podcast, like the psychology behind all of this, like the easily offended, the political siding, and it just fascinates me. Like,
I mean,
how do you get
it's
there?
it is victim mentality, but
Mm,
how did they all get somewhere? How did they all get in the one place?
mm,
you know what I've actually been wondering here, because I have been mulling over that question, and it feels like to take offense at something that's like it's like more and more minute, and the offense taken is bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't know if that made any sense at all. Welcome, baby brain.
I got it.
But like, is it the whole, like Joe Rogan says in every one of his episodes, of easy times makes weak people? And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, we're in a really easy time. Like if we look historically, like like we're not going through world wars. We're not like our lives aren't at risk
stuff's
every
in
day.
abundance.
Yeah, everything's like it's so easy to get food and like whatever you need. Like we're living in the land of conveniences. And so is it you have to take more and more offensive things because things are so easy. It's like there's no perspective on what is actually hard and what should actually be taken offensively. And so like when you see people who are living quite like, and like I'm going to say cushy lives, I'm going to get shredded for that. But like we're living cushy lives. If you're accessing this podcast, you're living a cushy life comparatively to what our ancestors lived. And therefore, yeah, it's like these smaller insignificant differences we need to like get really narky over. I might give an example that's also going to get me shot in the face. My sister shaved her head, and she's quite short, and she actually likes to dress in like baggier clothes. She's so freaking fashionable, and I love her to bits. And she's gorgeous. But like every now and then there'd be some dickhead that was like, "Hey man," like, or you know, "Oh, you can't go into the girls' toilet." Like she's been told that before, and she is very clearly a girl, but you know, we get confused nowadays. And she's never taken offense to it. She's just like, no, I'm a girl, like, and moves on. Like if it's ever been, you know, she actually has long hair now and a baby strapped to her. But when that was a thing, like she'd get that and she'd be like, oh no, like, no, I'm a girl, and like just go on with her life. No offense taken at all. But now like if we use the wrong pronouns in certain settings, it can be really offensive and can really hurt and cut deep. And I'm like, well, I feel like that's quite like on the level of things that could be said to you, it's probably a really small,
Or
a
just
small
like the
one.
level of struggles that are possible.
Precisely. But because we don't have those struggles, it's like, and now that feels big. Did I explain?
Yeah.
That? How many people did
100%.
I offend doing that?
None.
Okay, hopefully. But like this is kind of what random thoughts I have while I'm breastfeeding if my phone's not.
But also, people
at
are
hand.
bored as shit. People are so bored. If they weren't bored, they would not be online. Like, if you have time to be online in someone's comment section, being offended by something, you are bored, and you're probably not living.
You're not creating.
No, but you're also just like our grandparents would never have had the time to sit down and be looking at something so time consuming and so like draining as Instagram comments. And so like these problems would not even have been like imagine speaking about this to our great grandparents. They'd be like, how and why and what is all that? Because they were so
I
busy
would
just
feel
surviving.
like my great grandparents went through the Holocaust, so I probably wouldn't bring, you know, perspective again.
Yeah, I think tough times do it builds a thick skin. It makes you realize like Like, are you going to care what some random on the internet is thinking about you, calls you whatever names? Are you going to care about that? Or are you going to like realize like there's much, there's much worse things to happen than that. But I think there's also like responsibility. Like if you are getting these comments where people are offended by you, offended by your content or whatever you're doing, and they say something, and if it triggers you, that's your work. That's like, oh shit, that triggers the shit out of me. But the thing that's also not happening is, I guess, personal responsibility is lacking a lot in these kind of people, or in general. It's like people get offended, and then instead of looking inward, they go, I didn't like that.
Yeah,
that happens a lot on our podcast comments, doesn't it? I mean, it would happen so much on yours. I watched the recent was the OnlyFans one amalgamated with the abortion thing at the end? Is that the same video?
No, that was a different.
No, that was the
different.
wombat one.
That's right. One. Oh my gosh, yes.
So
the
good.
amount of upset people in that. Like,
oh my God. I cannot believe how many people are upset over that situation. I cannot.
But like on both sides, like firstly touching the wombat, secondly that you dropped abortion in the skit. Like the whole thing, like I cannot believe it. It is that real? That really happened?
I don't know. Honestly, like I don't know, there's something going on. Like I'm going to get real conspiracy, but like I guess because it's coming up to an election, I think some shit is going down. Like media is putting these issues at a forefront, animal rights, LGBT stuff, women's rights. They're putting these things at a forefront to try and like, I don't know,
get people feeling really emotional about
get them feeling emotional. And then they're like, oh, who's gonna stick up for those people? Which candidate, which leader is going to stick up for those things? Oh, it's that person, because they're now speaking up about it. Like, I don't know. I think
100%. And I think that's what happens all the time with all of these massive issues. I mean, even the abortion chat, we've spoken about this. We literally just spoke about it then. But like, it's much more like it's all politically driven. Like, I don't think at the end of it, when you strip it all back and you have a just woman to woman chat, that you would disagree on any of it.
Yeah.
But like somehow everyone disagrees about it, and it's such a big emotionally charged argument.
Yeah.
That there's a lot of like misconstrued facts and like thoughts and,
very hyperbolic.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not a conspiracy, babe. That's facts.
It's just, it's
right.
Just real life.
I'm here to tell you that's not a conspiracy.
So yeah, I think the wombat thing, I think the woman that did that, I think it was just the timing of it. She's American as well, so Australians just want to hate Americans right now because they want to, like, they don't want Australians to turn up. Yeah, because of Trump, they hate him so much. They don't want us to be like that. And so it was just like, I just felt like it was the perfect thing for the media and for all the people to be offended by. I was just like, holy shit. And then I was seeing these people online just absolutely piling on this woman who had done this. And I was like, how the fuck is she handling this? Like, I couldn't comprehend. And anyway, I actually had a little chat with her because I was intrigued.
What did she say? Oh my God, spill the beans. This is great.
Oh, no, I won't give it word for word, but we had a nice chat, just a little chat. She liked the skit, and the hate is quite intense for her. So she fully left the country, and
So embarrassing.
Is it everywhere? Because like I mean, if I wasn't on Instagram, I wouldn't have actually known it happened at all. Actually, I think your skit was the first thing I saw about it.
It's just media just took it and went with it, and then all the influencers went on about it, and that was I caught up with a friend, an old colleague actually, and she was like, Lisa, you have to check out this wombat thing. It's got your name written all over it. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then when she said that, I went on TikTok, and then there was this random influencer guy just ranting about this woman being like, "You're disgusting, blah, blah, blah." I was like, whoa. And I just kept seeing it. Like everyone was just like, "This woman is disgusting for doing that. How dare you, blah, blah, blah." I was like, okay. Like I get, like, it was a pretty confronting thing, but she gave the wombat back. Okay, she gave it back. And there's also much worse things. What about baby lambs? What about we're taking
How do you get
cows?
your milk? How do you get your milk?
Exactly. Like, we eat animals. Like, what are you talking about?
It does get to a point where you're just like, wait, what? And like, I get it. I don't want people taking baby wombats from their mums.
No one says it's right,
but also there are probably bigger issues to go nuts about if you're just trying to vent some rage. But also, like, there's probably the whole like back catalog of this that's like, actually, this is a hot topic right now, and me hating on her is going to get some clicks. So here we go. Let's let rip.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. So
ding, ding, ding. That's it.
And I guess she needs to take that. I hope she does. I hope she takes that.
Oh, yeah.
And realizes that there's a very small population of extremely loud people, and unfortunately that includes the media, who want to scream from the rooftops about stuff that's not that important. Sorry to the wombat lovers, but like in the scheme of things, it doesn't really land for me.
100%. And you know what? She brought so much light to an issue that has been going on for a long time. Like, this is the thing, when people like do stuff like this and it brings a lot of attention, it brings so much light to an issue. Like, it brought up so much that has been going on. Like, even with wombats, my dad messaged me like a few months ago, and he's like real on with these issues. And he was like, farmers have been killing wombats all over the peninsula, just down here where I was living, and they've been killing them for their livestock. Their livestock, is that what you call them? Livestock. Yeah, and so hundreds of wombats are being killed all the time for farmers so that they can have their animals or their food, growing food, because all the wombats' holes ruin it. So by doing that wombat thing and like people going crazy for the wombats, it brought light to how much stuff there is going on that we don't even know. Like, no one knows that. No one knows that wombats get killed all the time.
Oh, and like, I mean, if you drive from Jindabyne to Sydney, like there's a wombat every couple of 100 meters. Like, people don't give a shit about all those wombats. Like, it's like, this is regular roadkill in certain areas, which again, I'm not happy about. I do actually really love animals, but when you're going to go nuts on, you know where I'm going with this. Everyone knows where I'm going with this, but
yeah. It's funny stuff, isn't it? When you start seeing it in a funny way, when you're like, oh my God, what is going on? And you can laugh about it. That's when you know you're all good.
It's important though. It's really important to laugh at this stuff. And so, I think too, when it comes to OnlyFans, which is obviously a much more important issue than wombats.
Hey, wombats. What the hell?
Sorry. Well, I love the wombats, but they're like they're good, man. Like
Lisa's dad is not going to be happy.
No, I know. Sorry, Dad. But like when we look at like the scheme of things, and we're looking at how culture's changing and civilization's changing, and like what our children are going to be exposed to, which is something that Chloe and I harp on about on the podcast quite a bit. It's yes, look after the wombats, guys, but if we could focus our attention on like some really serious stuff that's going to like change your life forever, a chick hugging a wombat for a few minutes isn't probably the worst of it. So I am so glad for the comedic relief that you bring to to my Instagram feed. It's
a little bit of motivation too, right? Like something that I think it all highlights is like how basic we can be and like how boring humans can be and like how sheepish we actually are. Like the Byron thing is hilarious because it's so true, because so many people just follow so tightly the trends of what a couple of people do in and around Byron. And I think most people just are doing things very unconsciously, but it's just funny because it reminds us how like
and I think the most hilarious part of it is that
sheepish we are.
Us in the Northern Rivers and Byron feel like we are so beyond being sheeps.
That's the best
That's
part.
why it's so funny.
That's
Because
the
you're like,
best part.
Like we're all, oh my
love
God,
it.
I'm so conscious. I'm awakening my conscious
so
space.
individual.
I'm so individual. I
So
do all this.
enlightened.
And everyone's kid is named River, and everyone's driving the same cars around, and we're all living this hyper conscious life completely unconsciously. So it's beautiful. I love it, and I think that's like
I love Byron. I love the Northern Rivers. Oh my God, I love that shit, and I miss Loco Loves. I don't know if Byron Bayers know it, but Loco Loves are like at least $1 more anywhere else. Which is already, I know.
If you're in Melbourne,
already.
I've got a hookup for you. I'll tell you offline because I don't want.
I haven't been eating them. This is the thing. It's like you go to Byron and you eat Loco Loves. Like that's what you do. Like I don't eat them down here. It's weird.
You must have a lot of money these days. Are you well off now? That sounds like a good thing for you.
Loco Loves the new avocado toast.
Honestly, I just want to say that. It's true.
Yeah.
Well, look, being in Melbourne, I'd love to talk about that really quickly because I know like we absolutely live in a bubble here and there's so many things that I'm completely unaware of because I'm just like, oh yeah, like no one vaccinates anymore, do they? But then I listened to that one podcast, Abby Chatfield's podcast, and she went like right off on vaccines. And I was like, oh, people still think this? Like it really opened my eyes to I mean, if this is any indication of what kind of bubble I am in, here we go. But yeah, and then I like it reminded me that the rest of the world does not think and eat and live and breathe the way that this beautiful area does. So being in Melbourne, like how has that opened up your perspective? Because you are between the two, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. I love, love, love the Northern Rivers. If I could be there right now, I would be there. If I could live there right now, I would be there in a heartbeat. But something was calling me back here. And I'm also headed to the US to whatever, fulfill my comedy dreams. But yeah, Melbourne, because I know it so well. I grew up here. I've lived here. And then I've been away from it. And then I've come back. I was here during COVID as well. It is it's a darker place. It is. It's a darker place than Byron, than Queensland, than a lot of places. It's quite gritty. There's a lot of shadow stuff. But there are pockets. Like if you get out of Melbourne, like the Dandenong Ranges or the Mornington Peninsula or anywhere coastal, you'll find it's kind of similar to Byron, like same kind of, vibe. But it's the actual like in Melbourne, and I guess it's like any city, I think. It's just dark. There's some dark things. There's lightness as well, of course. But it's just so different. Yeah, like most people are vaccinated here. Most people are into mainstream media, all the things. But there are the pockets. And I think me doing my social media stuff and pointing out these things, I have had people reach out to me that live in Melbourne and they're like, oh my God, yes, I'm with you. And then like we might connect or we might hang out. I'm like, okay, there are more of us. We're just a little quiet. We're hidden. We're like, oh, can we go out and be like, hey, I don't think that vaccination thing was okay. Can we say that?
That happens all the time with us here, though. Like whenever we say something or we do like anything online, someone will be on the secret slide into the DMs, be like, thank you so much. I honestly agree. And I feel so alone in that thought. And I don't know anybody else that thinks like that and blah, blah, blah. And then everyone just comes out of the woodworks, but it's never loudly and openly. It's always behind closed doors because people are genuinely afraid to go against the grain and say anything other than what everybody's kind of saying, which is why the comedy thing is so funny because it kind of breaks that. You can say it. You can say it.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, it's just a joke if you get like a lot of hate, if you really need to.
No, but like the whole point of a joke is that it's true. You're just putting an obvious spin on it.
Yeah.
But no, but also on the flip side of that, I mean, I've posted a couple of things recently and I just keep losing followers. I don't know. Like I have a small following. I've got a good 1,400.
Lose the people.
They just keep disappearing because I post things. And I posted I post whatever I find funny. And I posted it, I think it was a meme that was because measles is making a comeback. And there was a meme that was like, but what if your child gets measles or chickenpox? And I'll just preface this with obviously measles is a serious disease and yada yada. But the meme was funny. What if your child gets measles or chickenpox? And the thing was like some old painting with rolled back eyes saying, she'll itch, Karen, she'll itch. And I just thought that was really funny. And I posted it and then I had someone slide into my DMs who just mentioned like, or she'll die. And I was like, oh, come on, have a sense of humor. Like it's like, how many people do you know that's died of measles? Can we take this into a little bit of perspective?
Maybe they were joking too. You never know.
Or she'll die.
Like sometimes like, oh, I don't know.
Maybe it's a coping mechanism.
Maybe. But yeah, and then like I think I had another one. Oh, I posted something else. Oh no, it was actually like it was a Daily Mail article, so we'll take that with a grain. But something about a woman in Germany was not like got off being convicted of something because she injected saline instead of COVID vaccines into a whole bunch of elderly people. And then I had someone come in like really fired up about that. Like, you know, so she did this against their will, like they wanted this medication. And I was like, oh, like there are still people who feel this way. Because I guess where we live, we're so protected from that. And so it's really like, oh, okay. Like, what, like, okay, it's good to know. One, I don't think she follows me anymore. But like, yeah, I mean, even though now we have the science that proves that saline was probably just as efficacious as a COVID vaccine, maybe if not more. So, like, you know, here we are, and anyway,
it's interesting. It's I'm kind of to bring this back, like it's the extreme on both sides as well. And I guess for me, I was in Melbourne during COVID. I know it was rough, and everyone around me was getting the COVID vaccine. It was like there was no question about it. We wanted to get out of lockdown. We'd been in lockdown for so long. My brother was getting married. Lives in Germany, like all these things. And so I know what it was like during that time to have to get it, to have to get the vaccine. And so, you know, that's what I thought. But so then I can see that side. And so then when I see people on the extreme of, you know, the anti-vaxxers being like, oh yeah, but you could have died from it, or, you know, I don't want to date people that have been vaccinated, or the spike stuff, all the stuff, right? All the extreme. It's happening on both sides. And I think if we can I don't know, yeah, just understand that we don't know what we were like in that time. We didn't have all the information. The government was lying. All these things were lying, which is horrible. And so I think I guess we just don't know what someone is going through or what led them to that decision. But yeah, if people are still stuck on the vaccination was a good thing, I don't know.
this far out, maybe it's, we should.
Yeah, it's good to make comedy about those people. Yeah. What's next? What are you making now?
Yeah.
So my next move is, I haven't really
Other than
about
moving to the US and becoming a famous comedian.
Well,
Getting
I'm
on
not
Joe Rogan's
moving.
podcast or something.
That'd be a dream. But I'm kind of just going with the flow here, making some content here and there. But yeah, the next step is really just to try and do stand-up. So I've been trying to write material. So when I get to Austin, which will be soon, I haven't booked my flight yet. But I'm going to try all the open mics, try out material, and then hopefully sign up for Kill Tony, and then hopefully get on it.
That's big. That's a cool move.
Yes. Yeah, I love Kill Tony. I love it. And I might not get on it. That's fine. But I just felt like more comfortable to try stand up when I've never done it before. So I just felt more comfortable to just be out of my own country. Like,
no one can see this.
Yeah, no one can see this. No one knows who I am. Like, that just feels safer for me. I don't know why, but yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. And there's also more open mics there, I think. And it's like, they're not going to be super offended if I make an offensive joke.
The comedy scene over there is like thriving because of everyone that moved out of LA during COVID. So that's it will be, I reckon that'll be an incredible place to be to support to support your work and your career. And I guess
I'm scared shitless though. So.
I'm scared for you, but I excited scared.
Yeah. It's a big move, big step.
Please share that along so we can all just follow along on this journey, because that is really exciting. That we're rooting for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I will try and share it. I'll share all the, I don't know. I just feel like I'm going to flail. Is that the word, flail? Because I don't know, stand up, it's such a different thing. I mean, if I can think back to even just when I first made comedy videos, I was feeling the same, like, oh, this is a bit scary. I don't know what I'm doing. But you kind of do know what you're doing. You're going to be shit at it, or you're not going to be amazing at it to start. That's life, but you get better at it the more you do it.
So true.
And invaluable things learnt from failing a couple of times
first. Yeah. You learn so much in the failing. Like, it is the easiest way to learn is to fail.
Well,
very true.
Wait, easy? Quickest. Maybe.
Quickest.
I don't know how easy it is, but quick, yeah.
Quickest.
Sure. Yeah.
You face your demons. You're like, oh shit, all the insecurities, all the doubts, you have to face them head on.
Yeah. And have a whole lot of randos poking it.
It either makes you or breaks you.
Yeah. Don't let it break you.
Yeah, well, if you're not offended person, you're probably going to be okay.
Yeah,
I'm probably going to be right. We'll see. And it might not even be stand-up. Maybe I try stand-up and be like, oh, it's not for me. Maybe it brings me to something else. Who knows?
That's exciting. Well, good luck to you on that endeavor, Lisa. We look forward to seeing you rise like a star.
Thank you.
If anyone wants to follow along, hasn't run past your work at all, where can they find you?
So Instagram, Lisa Jane Spencer, or TikTok, it's Lisa Jane Spencer. I prefer Instagram, but you do you. I also started a YouTube, but we'll see.
And your OnlyFans account?
Yeah, my OnlyFans.
What's the link to that? We know
Yeah,
what's going on here. You gave us the download, the secret, like.
Oh my God. I was gonna start a whole other conversation, but all good. I just thought, like, I wonder if people do OnlyFans, but, like, don't do porn and just do, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is. I feel like I don't know this for fact, but I'm pretty sure I thought there was OnlyFans for, like, other skills other than sexual.
Like Only Grands. We had that going for a little bit as an idea. Only Grands, just a knitting channel, crocheting, and other lost arts of the elderly. I reckon it would go really well, sourdough.
You should do it. Yes.
Yeah. I'm into it. I am so down for that. That is like it's my go-to. Yeah. Oh, okay. I hear a crying baby. All right. Let's wrap this up. Thank you so much, Lisa. We'll speak to you soon.
Chat. All right. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Road to Wisdom podcast. To join the journey, you can follow us on Instagram at theroadtowisdom.podcast and at www.theroadtowisdompodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. We look forward to seeing you next week with more juicy content.